Goodbye, everybody.
Kelly and Jason, good to go?
Yes, good to go. And starting. They're good to go. We had a good shoot around today. They feel good. Everything's good to go.
Generally speaking, do you think it's a good thing when players pay attention to what is said in the media and read what's written? I asked because today Keith and John referenced quotes that the Hawks had said.
You know, I think every player is different. Every player can handle things differently. It doesn't bother me as long as they play hard and play for their team on the court for 48 minutes. The stuff that you read, I mean, some guys, I guess they can use it as motivation, but I think at this time of the year, there's plenty of motivation to keep winning games and playing well and moving on to the next game. And that stuff I don't pay much attention to it. I mean, I read it whenever it's in front of me, but it's nothing that I'm going to look at and talk about. I haven't mentioned one thing other than with you guys, the MMA stuff, and I mean, that's nothing. It's basketball. We have to focus on playing basketball.
Scott, because the tone was set early by those comments by Millsap, do you take a look, or do you guys take a look at who the officiating crew is and knowing maybe some of the tendencies that they have in terms of calling quick fouls?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it all the time. You know, we get to look at who officiates the game, like right around 9 o'clock approximately, game day. They have a job to do just like I do and just like our players do. And I've been in the league for over 25 years or so. I've never thought about this referee's going to call it differently. I think they're going to call it as they see it. And sometimes coaches don't see it that way, and that's part of it. They're going to try to do their best, just like we are. I don't get into that. We all know the stats tell you they had shot a lot of free throws. We didn't, but we did foul. We did a lot of fouling. We have to do a better job of defending without fouling. We like to get there ourselves.
That's a follow-up. This officiating crew tonight has 34 years of playoff experience. We talked about it like the players having experience in the playoffs. How important is it to have maybe an officiating crew that's been down this road?
Well, I think, that's a good question, because even if you look at players or even coaches with great experience, some players make mistakes that have been in the league for 15 years that you're like, how did he make that? Why did he make that? What was he thinking? Same thing with coaching. I'm sure you can go back to some of the officials the same way. I think everybody's just going to try to do their job and do it the best they can. We try to not focus on the things that we can't control. I mean, there's times we let it get to us with our emotions, but that is also part of the reason why we've been good this year. We play with a chip, we play with an edge, and we play with emotion. And this is the game that you have to do that. You just can't go in the game, it's not a big deal. We're just going to let the chips fall where they may, and who cares wins. No, it's not like that. We want to go out there and play well, and we want to be aggressive, and we want to compete, and you want to lay everything on the floor and then go from there. But I don't really focus on who's reffing. I know they're going to do their best that they can do it.
Keeping in mind you want to give your starters a blow here or there, do you think of changing up your rotation so you won't have some stagnation early in that second quarter?
Yeah, I've thought about it. We made a lot of bad, some silly fouls during that stretch in that second quarter that, are late first, start of the second. There's some adjustments I can tinker with some of the minutes, but guys need a rest. I love to play John the entire game, and that's not going to be beneficial long term for us. But he's comfortable, high 30s. Brad probably is also. And try to maybe tweak those minutes so somebody's always on the floor. But I still have confidence in the group that they can play well without John and Brad. Now, it depends how many minutes. We'll see how the game goes.
The Hawks have made no secret that stopping you in transition is kind of their number one thing. I wonder, when you look back at Game 1, how much of their 20 turnovers fueled you, or was it missed shots, or
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. We know what they like, and they know what we like. I think every team in the league wants transition points. I think you go into training camp, hey, we're going to get back in defense, and we're going to stop the transition. And then offensive, hey, we're going to get stops and run in transition. I think everybody does it, and everybody wants to continue to focus on those areas. And we're at our best, just like they are when they get steals and forcing turnovers. We want to be able to do that. Can we do it again? Well, it remains to be seen. But we want to play. With a defensive mind and get out in transition and run. They're a good offensive team, so they have some decisions to make. An offensive rebounding team, so whether they crash the boards or get back, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm just focusing on what we have to do to win the game.
Any status change on John?
No, and I don't think that probably in the next few days we'll probably know a little bit more. But he shot some free throws, I think, yesterday. I haven't talked to him today.
Your team struggled from three-pointers during the game, especially Bradley. How comfortable are you with the looks that you guys got or offensive sets?
Yeah, I mean, if Brad can get those same looks, would be very comfortable. He was 2 for 11. A lot of great looks. He even makes some of the tougher ones that are contested. That's how good he is, and his stroke is, it's flawless. He's like a lot of the great shooters in the league. But very rarely is going to have a 2 for 11 game. But he did bounce back and was able to score the basketball much better in the second half. But we want to shoot threes, and we like threes, but definitely we want to make more than 28% of them.
And Otto only had two attempts from three.
That's a lot of times the defense is going to give you some decisions to make, and Keith got a lot of shots. I'm assuming that was their game plan. But Keith is good. I mean, he can score. He can score different spots of the floor. But definitely Otto, I'd like him to have some more threes. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. 2 is not enough.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the season that Tim Hardaway has had, and what have you noticed from him on both sides in studying film?
I think he's having a great season. And he's also having a great end of the season. After the All-Star game, his numbers were nearly, I think, 20 points a game, shooting at a high level, attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line four times or so. Defensively, he's good. He's long, athletic. He's a two-way player, and he's gonna. I'm assuming he's gonna keep improving. He's a young player that should get better for many years. All right, see you guys after.